to just pick your brains. Like, how did you guys get involved with, seeing this case? Was it really the media coverage that was going around, and what kind of pulled you into the case?
Well, first we got to start off that's around the time we started talking about true crime.
Sure.
We got involved in a true crime and what was going on with the arrest of Richard Allen in the Delphi case.
Yeah.
And, we were talking about the probable cause that came out of that, and just kind of keeping an eye into, what was else going on in the world as far as these type of cases and these type of things that were going on. And all of a sudden, we get notified on, or we see on the news for, college students, their lives are taken. Immediately, it's just shock, right?
Yeah.
It's not even, thinking about the YouTube channel at that point. It's just like, wow, this is insane. Yeah, is this real? And then, realizing that there's at the very least, a spree killer on the loose. For us, we're like, this is something we need to talk about. There's vehicles that are going out, and it was more also because we were watching a bunch of different other channels, and there was a lot of stuff that was coming out that wasn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of a lot of speculation, a lot of things that were like on Reddit and things like that, which I'll be honest, a lot of it ended up kind of being somewhat true when you find out about the bushy eyebrow guy. So that was a Reddit story. But yeah, we saw that there was a mystery behind it. There was justice that needed to be served for these 4 students whose lives were taken. And, it started off with, let's find a white Hyundai Elantra, and went from there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for myself, once I heard about this, I started kind of, you jump on YouTube and see what people are talking about. And that's how I came across you guys. And funny enough, I think probably about 3 months ago, I actually was a call-in guest on your show, and we did a segment on that. And I said, there's something here. I need to start kind of looking into this and talking about it. And I don't know. It's just, it was very bizarre because it just didn't seem like things would add up. And then, for me, just seeing 4, victims in a house and no one knew anything that, for weeks, we're kind of like, what is going on? Are they going to catch this person? And then I just started thinking to myself, I was like, maybe it's just like a serial killer. He came through town, did this, bounced out. But it just seemed like after a while hearing evidence and seeing evidence, it was like, this is definitely someone that's close to these people that knew them or was in and around that area.
Right.
What stood out to me in the case, I remember talking to the guys about it, like, hey, this case came out, maybe we should look into it, was there was two victims alive. And I mean, not 2 victims, 2 of the roommates were alive. So I was like, man, he walked in there and killed 4 and left 2 alive. So that's pretty crazy to me. I thought that was a pretty interesting story to look into.
It's bizarre. Like, as things came out, you're kind of like, what? There was 2 people that survived. Like, they had to be involved. They were probably the ones that did it. That was kind of going through my head. And then we started seeing body cam footage of, there was the one when the Moscow police were out in the field right in between, King Road and the university, and you see runners, run by, and you're like, who are those people? Like, let's frame by frame it, and then come to find out it was just some kids running through the area. So it's crazy. And then just to hear a lot of the conspiracies that people are coming up with, or theories, or opinions.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like, and that was one thing that you even had that one TikTok lady who ended up getting sued. And so, there was a lot of that we were seeing, and that also kind of, pushed us in that direction. Cause like I've told a lot of folks, when we first started the Drunk Turkey Show, it wasn't true crime wasn't something that we were even considering doing. It was more on, we wanted to talk about Bigfoot, aliens,
Travis Walton. You had some Travis Walton videos.
Travis Walton. Yeah. We wanted to investigate those type of stuff, but we Richard Allen gets arrested. One of our viewers was like, hey, try a true crime show, And I was like, yeah, well, let's talk about this situation. It's pretty popular, and just see if we can bring something to the table.
Right.
And
Because
what
we,
I've go ahead, Blue.
I said, because we did do a few early true crime, but they were older crimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did the case. Not like we did the little girl, the one that got murdered
John
in the
Bonet.
basement. John
John Benet
Bonet
Ramsey. And there's actually been
Ramsey.
updates in that case right now too. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys know about that. Yeah.
yeah, we did John Bonet Ramsey, and folks were really positive about it. And they were like, man, we really want more of this type of content. And so that's
Yeah.
what got us into this one. And, just kind of going through it and going through what, probably like all the information that's come out in this case, which in my opinion is quite a bit,
Yeah.
especially early on.
Yeah. I was
You
going to
know,
ask you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
there was a lot of press releases that's normally not common. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I think that the reason being was because of the attention that was gathered from the type of case this is.
Yeah, if I can ask both of you guys, maybe a roundtable right here, real quick. How did you feel about when Bryan Kohberger was first arrested, and what kind of minimal information we had at that point? Just maybe the PCA, or just even before that, and now, So I want to. Did you think maybe allegedly he could be the guy, and now with all the evidence that's come out, has that swayed you in any direction? Like, oh, it's positively 100% him, or do you still feel like there's some unfound facts in this case? I think there's a lot more. Personally, myself, I think there's going to be a lot more stuff that comes out.
Blue, I'll let you answer first.
Okay, so when it first happened, we had just done the video like the night before.
Sure.
Of about the bar scene that had just been released. We were looking at the videos, and we kind of made out that one of the guys looked like the I can't remember the girl's name's boyfriend.
Jack.
But Jack, yeah, he was at the bar because it was the same hat, same shoes. I said, there's got to be him, and they kept saying that he was at home, that he wasn't there. So at first, we were going on a wild goose chase, I think, to say, hey, maybe something he's not saying something, and then the next day, boom, they arrest Kohberger, like,
Yeah,
and we're like, well, we were way off.
I think a lot of people were thinking that right away, like, oh, it's got to be the ex-boyfriend, it's got to be it. And then all of a sudden you had kind of this, mystery guy, like, who's this guy? Like, where did he pop up from? And you're like, yeah, it was way off.
Yeah, I mean, Jack DeCourt was a guy that we looked at a little bit.
Yeah.
We thought there was some suspicion there, but there was one thing that I often said was, if it was him, they would have arrested him like way early in the investigation. And so that was one thing that really bothered me about it being him. I felt that the police would have that information. Early on in this investigation, I had said that I thought this was going to be a guy somewhere between the age of like 24 to 30. Somebody outside of the circle, somebody who wants to be inside the circle, probably outside of their means, meaning not to the same statute as far as wealth goes. These were sorority girls. Just to be in a sorority costs an extra like $4,000 a semester on top of tuition and stuff like that. So it's not like it's inexpensive stuff. And so I felt that this was going to be somebody outside. I didn't really go down the incel theory at that point or anything like that. When he was arrested, I was like, all right, makes sense. I felt that it was probably going to be somebody that we weren't aware of. Jack was a guy that, is the first person that usually, you look at. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kohberger's defense team really pushes that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at it from the defense's point of view. They're going to look at this like, all right, in most typical situations where there's a crime that's committed with this much, with a knife for once, and this much, just the gross nature in which it was committed is usually committed by somebody with a lot of emotion.
Right.
And usually that emotion comes from, a breakup, and or, you have this guy. We found out throughout the investigation that The breakup was within a month. They'd only been broken up for 3 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
She,
Yep.
she was leaving. We find out that from the parents that she did go on at least one date. Maybe he found out about that. You know, we find out that he was at the corner bar that night.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of things, and usually the ex-boyfriend. And we also find out she's moving to Texas too.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things that point in that direction that, you know, he looks suspicious. And, you know, one thing that I will say is there's been a couple of different stories that has come out about Jack. One from the Gonsalves family that he didn't answer the phone because he was asleep.
Right.
And there's been another one that I've heard where apparently he wasn't asleep. He purposely didn't answer the phone because of a what's the word I'm looking for? I guess he was getting crap from his guys, or like, hey,
Right.
man, pussy whoop,
Yep.
you know, let her come back to you type of stuff. And, you know, which one is it? Was he asleep? Was he not asleep? Did he purposely not answer the phone?
Hey everybody, thank you for checking out this video. If you like the content here today, make sure to click on one of these videos up here. I would appreciate it. And before you head out, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that bell notification so every time I drop a new video or go live, you guys will know. Thanks.